Hey fam, welcome back to Paper Highlighter, your go-to spot for the juiciest reality TV gossip served piping hot. Let's dive straight into the madness. First up, Loren Brovarnik from 90 Day Fiancé is getting brutally honest. From her tummy tuck mommy makeover to a near-death delivery that ended in a hysterectomy, Loren is opening up like never before, and fans are shook by just how raw her story really is. Meanwhile, Jasmine Pineda is under fire yet again, this time for pulling her baby daughter into her social media hustle. Viewers are blasting her for turning little Matilda into a money-making machine, and the backlash is brutal. Next, the whispers get spicy. Rumors swirl that Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco were sneaking around and hooking up every single day on Hunt for Love. But is it the truth, or just Jennifer Tarazona stirring the pot to deflect from her own drama? And speaking of messy relationships, Warne just confirmed the rumor no one saw coming. His ex, Sophie, may be dating none other than Pedro Jimeno, yep, Chantel's ex. The shock on Chantel's face said it all. Then Jennifer Tarazona storms back into the spotlight, this time busting Cole for slipping into Elise's bedroom at night. Screaming matches, accusations of cheating, and a breakup declaration that had jaws on the floor. This tell-all moment was chaos. And finally, Darcey Silva's husband, Georgi, is being roasted for going way overboard with Botox and fillers. Fans are calling him Darcey 2.0 and warning he's on track to becoming a human Ken doll. Now, let's kick things off with Loren Brovarnik's shocking confession. From near-death delivery to a shocking hysterectomy, Loren is telling all, and fans can't believe the raw details she just dropped. She's one of the most beloved moms in the 90 Day Fiancé universe, but Loren is pulling back the curtain on the darkest chapter of her life, revealing how cosmetic surgery, motherhood, and a terrifying medical emergency have completely reshaped her world. Loren didn't hold back in her latest interview. Sitting down with Tori Spelling on the Misspelling podcast, the 37-year-old fan favorite got brutally honest about her decision to undergo a tummy tuck after welcoming 3 children. She admitted it was the best decision she ever made for her confidence and her family. She said, "I am coming up on 2 years since my surgery, and I loved it. I would do it again." Loren confessed, smiling as she recalled the boost it gave her self-esteem. But this wasn't just a vanity move. She revealed she had abdominal diastasis, muscles pulling apart after pregnancy, and decided to go for the surgery while already under anesthesia. She described the full scope of what she called a 360 lipo adventure. Chin, arms, back, thighs, you name it. She even admitted to a fat transfer to her breasts, though she laughed that it didn't hold and left her back to square one. But then the conversation turned from makeover to life or death. Loren dropped a bombshell. After her traumatic delivery with daughter Ariel, she made the painful decision to get a hysterectomy just 4.5 months ago. She revealed that during the birth, Ariel nearly ruptured her uterus. Doctors rushed in with a neonatologist, and in her own words, "If I had waited 5 more minutes, we would not be having this conversation." She explains she began to bleed out while her newborn could have drowned, something she still hasn't fully processed. It was a private trauma, Loren says she wasn't ready to share publicly until now. But with 3 kids, Shai, Asher, and Ariel, she knew she couldn't risk it again. "We were actually going to go for a 4th, she admitted softly, but I couldn't carry anymore." Through it all, she praised her husband Alexei as the rock of the family. "He really is the best dad ever. I couldn't have asked for a better partner," she said, stressing how much his calm strength has shaped their children's world. Fans have always adored Alexei, but hearing Loren call him the perfect role model for their kids melted hearts across social media. And as for life after surgery, Loren is trying to keep it real, balancing motherhood, mental health, and healing. "For my kids to see a loving, stable environment, that's what molds them." It's a raw, vulnerable side of Loren that has fans flooding her comments with support, reminding her she's not just a reality star, she's proof of resilience in the face of unimaginable fear. Stick around, because if you thought that was intense, just wait. Up next, Jasmine Pineda is sparking outrage for using her baby as a social media prop, and the backlash is going viral. She's no stranger to controversy, but Jasmine's latest move on social media has crossed a line for many. Instead of celebrating her baby daughter Matilda, viewers say she's exploiting her for clout, and the backlash is brutal. 90 Day Fiancé fans have seen Jasmine Pineda hustle hard to stay relevant online, but this time, she's dragging her baby girl Matilda into the spotlight, and people are not impressed. Her latest reel started innocently enough, Jasmine dancing in a bikini to a Latin beat, flashing her signature confidence. But then, she pulled her daughter into frame, announcing that little Matilda was showing off her Afro-Latinx roots. What Jasmine may have thought was a sweet mother-daughter moment quickly spiraled into a firestorm. Critics swarmed the comments, blasting her for treating Matilda like a prop. One viewer wrote bluntly, "Exposing that poor child is so low." Another piled on with, "Disgusting use of a baby." And perhaps the harshest sting came from a fan who asked, "If she abandoned her sons in Panama, what makes anyone think she won't exploit this child too?" That's right. Fans are bringing up Jasmine's past accusations, claiming she left her older children behind to chase her American dream. And now, they say she's repeating the pattern by monetizing her baby's presence online. The criticism didn't stop at the parenting angle either. Several commenters zeroed in on Jasmine's choice of attire, arguing that if she truly wanted a wholesome clip, she could have worn something other than a skimpy bikini. One user snapped, "She was flaunting both her body and her baby. That says it all about her intentions." Social media discourse exploded, with threads dissecting whether Jasmine's behavior was pure strategy or just tone deaf. Some speculated she knows exactly how to play the algorithm, use the baby, add cultural pride language, and watch the engagement skyrocket. And while Jasmine hasn't directly responded to the storm, her track record suggests she thrives on controversy. Remember, this is the same Jasmine who turned pregnancy updates into full-blown spectacles, milking every stage for attention. To her critics, Matilda is just the newest stage prop in that ongoing performance. But not everyone is condemning her. A few defenders argue Jasmine's reel was just a proud mom moment being blown out of proportion. "It's her baby, her page. Why can't she share what she wants?" one supporter asked. Still, those voices are being drowned out by louder calls of exploitative, clout chasing, and even dangerous, with fans warning about the risks of putting an infant's face all over the internet. The question remains, does Jasmine truly not see the problem? Or is she banking on the outrage, knowing full well that negative attention still drives views, clicks, and yes, revenue? Don't touch that dial because the drama's only heating up. Next, whispers of a secret romance. Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco allegedly hooking up every single day during filming. Wait until you hear who spilled the tea. The 90 Day Fiancé hunt for love tell-all is already chaos, but an explosive accusation just took center stage. Jennifer Tarazona claims Tim and Tiffany were secretly getting cozy, and the cast's reactions said it all. So here's the tea. Jennifer Tarazona, never one to back down from drama, was grilled on whether she had hooked up with co-star Rob Warne. Instead of answering, she lobbed a grenade in a totally different direction, pointing fingers at Tim Malcolm and Tiffany Franco. According to Jennifer, the two were sleeping together every single day during filming. Yup, you heard that right. Every single day. She claimed to be an eyewitness to this so-called secret romance, adding a smug undertone that made the cast gasp. Tim immediately jumped in, calling the claim ridiculous. Tiffany wasn't having it either, visibly rolling her eyes and insisting Jennifer was just trying to change the subject. The host, Sukanya Krishnan, even paused to press Jennifer on her wild accusation, asking if she was serious. Jennifer doubled down, saying Tim and Tiffany were turning up the heat while pretending to be innocent. But the more Jennifer talked, the shakier her credibility seemed. Remember, this is the same star accused of spinning rumors about her own cast hookups. And when pressed harder, she got defensive, literally walking out of frame to avoid more questioning. It didn't take long for viewers at home to call it for what it was, a classic deflection tactic. Jennifer had been asked point blank about her relationship with Rob Warne, a question that had her squirming. By tossing Tim and Tiffany under the bus, she managed to flip the spotlight and stir up even bigger drama. Still, fans couldn't help but notice how uncomfortable Tim and Tiffany looked. Their awkward chuckles and nervous glances gave skeptics reason to wonder if Jennifer hit closer to the truth than they wanted to admit. Social media lit up with side-by-side screenshots of their reactions, with one user tweeting, "If they weren't guilty, why did they both look like deer in headlights?" Others argued that the whole thing was a masterclass in reality TV spin. By creating a rumor this outrageous, Jennifer ensured her name stayed in the headlines, even if the claim had zero evidence behind it. And here's where it gets even messier. Tim himself turned the question back on Jennifer, firing off a pointed dig. "Nobody even cares about me, but you keep talking about me, huh?" That line got laughs in the studio, but also underscored how tired he was of her antics. Tiffany, for her part, brushed the entire thing off, telling the host it was nothing more than Jennifer trying to turn the tables. She reminded everyone that Jennifer had dodged the Rob question completely, calling it pathetic. And then came the grand finale, Jennifer storming out of the set altogether, refusing to answer any more questions. That dramatic exit only fueled the gossip further, with fans debating whether she was cornered or just playing up for the cameras. Keep it locked, because just when you think this tell-all couldn't get wilder, Rob Warne drops a bomb about his ex, Sophie. Yup, he straight up confirmed those jaw-dropping rumors, linking her to Chantel's ex, Pedro Jimeno. The hunt for love tell-all had its fair share of jaw-dropping moments, but Rob Warne's confession sent shockwaves through the room. Asked about where things stood with his ex Sophie, Rob didn't just rehash their rocky history. He dropped a name that instantly made Chantel's jaw drop: Pedro Jimeno. Here's how it played out. Rob admitted that after he and Sophie returned from the singles retreat, the two hooked up a little bit, but he clarified it was nothing serious, more like breakup sex with no strings attached. He could tell after we started hooking up, then the expectations started to come, he explained. That was enough for Rob to pump the brakes, making it clear they weren't going to fix their broken marriage. But then came the twist. When tell-all host Sukanya Krishnan pressed him on Sophie's current dating life, Rob spilled. From what I've heard, she's actually talking to Chantel's ex, Pedro Jimeno. The camera cut immediately to Chantel, whose face said everything. Her shock was palpable, like the wind had just been knocked out of her body. Fans online later joked, you could see Chantel's soul leave her body in that moment. For context, Pedro and Chantel's messy split played out on The Family Chantel, with Pedro accused of cheating and abandoning Chantel after years of drama. To now hear that Sophie, who already had one of the franchise's most turbulent relationships with Rob, is possibly in Pedro's orbit, viewers are calling it the crossover scandal of the season. Sophie herself hasn't commented on the rumor, staying silent on social media since the tell-all aired, but TLC producers hinted at a surprise ex could appear in an upcoming episode, and fans are convinced it'll be Pedro. If true, the showdown between Chantel, Sophie, and Pedro would be ratings gold. Meanwhile, the internet is in full meltdown mode. One fan quipped on Twitter, "Pedro collecting ex-wives like Pokemon cards." Another wrote, "If Sophie and Pedro are really together, Chantel deserves financial compensation from TLC for emotional damages." Some even speculate the whole thing could be staged for maximum drama. Rob has a reputation for stirring the pot, and skeptics believe he might be hyping a rumor to stay relevant. But whether it's true or not, the buzz has already turned Sophie and Pedro into the week's hottest topic. And poor Chantel, she's caught in the crossfire once again, reliving old wounds in front of a national audience. Stick around because the tell-all drama doesn't stop there. Next up, Jennifer Tarazona goes nuclear after catching Cole sneaking into Elise's bedroom. What she does next will leave you speechless. If you thought Jennifer was going to play it cool at the 90-Day Fiancé Hunt for Love reunion, think again. She came armed and ready, and her first target was Cole. The drama exploded when Jennifer accused Cole of lying about his late-night whereabouts. According to her, he claimed he was going to hang out with a group of people. But the truth? He ended up in Elise's bedroom. Jennifer confronted him point blank, her voice sharp as she demanded an explanation. Cole, visibly uncomfortable, admitted he did go into Elise's room, but insisted it wasn't what Jennifer thought. "We just hung out," he claimed, trying to brush it off. But Jennifer wasn't buying it. "Don't tell me you're with a group when you're in another woman's bedroom." Courtney, ever the instigator, repeated Cole's confession word for word, like a kid tattling on a sibling, which only added fuel to the fire. Elise jumped in, shouting at the top of her lungs that Cole was like a brother to her and that there was nothing fishy between them. But Jennifer refused to back down. "That changes everything," she snapped, pointing out the secrecy as the ultimate betrayal. Cole quickly turned defensive, accusing Jennifer of pulling bullshit on him. But the damage was already done. Jennifer's trust was shattered in real time, and she made the ultimate announcement. She was ending things with Cole right there on set. The audience and fellow castmates gasped as Jennifer asked Cole sarcastically how his night with Elise really was. Cole tried to salvage his dignity, but Jennifer's fury was unstoppable. Elise, meanwhile, looked caught between defending herself and dodging Jennifer's wrath. Fans at home had their popcorn ready. The entire exchange went viral on social media, with hashtags like #ColeCaught and #JenniferExplodes trending across platforms. Some viewers praised Jennifer for refusing to be played, while others questioned whether she was stirring drama just to secure screen time. One fan on Twitter summed it up: "Jennifer will torch the whole set before she lets someone lie to her face." Another chimed in, "This isn't about Elise, it's about Cole lying, and Jennifer was not about to let that slide." What makes this blow up even juicier is the wider context. Jennifer herself had been dodging questions earlier in the tell-all about her own rumored hookups, making her fiery takedown of Cole look a bit hypocritical to some. Still, no one can deny she delivered one of the reunion's most jaw-dropping moments, walking away single, furious, and with the last word. And just when you think we're done, oh no, the drama keeps rolling. Up next, Georgi Rusev is being roasted online for going overboard with Botox and plastic surgery. Fans say he's morphing into Darcey 2.0, and the new face reveal has everyone talking. Georgi Rusev, husband to Darcey Silva, has officially stepped into the cosmetic surgery spotlight. In his most recent Instagram story, the 90-Day Fiancé alum proudly showed off his latest round of Botox, smiling at the camera while tagging his esthetician and blush med spa. Quote, "Just keeping gravity on pause," he joked. But instead of compliments, the reaction was swift and savage. Fans compared him to a human Ken doll in training, warning he's heading down the same road as Darcey and Stacey Silva, whose obsession with procedures has been a running storyline for years. Let's not forget, Darcey herself has admitted to undergoing every kind of surgery imaginable, from facelifts to liposuction to breast augmentations. She and twin Stacy even traveled to Turkey for some of their more extreme transformations. Now, viewers are convinced Georgi is falling under the same influence. A popular blogger mocked how casually Georgi announced, "I just did a little Botox here and there." Critics weren't buying it. One fan wrote, "This man went from ruggedly handsome to plastic Ken real quick." Another added, "Darcey finally got her dream. Now her husband looks just like her." And the concerns aren't just about vanity. Fans noted that Darcey's own health has raised alarms, with reports of her skin turning blue in places, potentially from overuse of cosmetic fillers. That left many wondering if Georgi's chase for eternal youth could also spiral into health risks. But Georgi doesn't seem fazed. In his post, he emphasized that Botox doesn't hurt, isn't harmful, and can be for anyone who wants to look refreshed. To him, it's just part of self-care. He even tagged his provider to promote the clinic, treating the entire thing like a casual flex. Meanwhile, social media is on fire with debate. Some defended Georgi, saying, "It's his body, his choice. If it makes him happy, let him be." Others blasted him for following Darcey's path, arguing that he was more attractive before the tweaks. A few even joked that TLC should launch a spin-off called Botox and Fiancé. And of course, there's the elephant in the room, Darcey herself. While she wasn't shown in Georgi's story, fans speculate she encouraged him. After all, cosmetic procedures have practically become the couple's love language, right alongside their lavish vacations and vow renewals. It all leaves viewers asking, is this just the beginning of Georgi's transformation, or will he take the Darcey route and keep going until he's unrecognizable?